Now, welcome back. We've got another candidate for you in the upcoming SU elections. Could you introduce yourself and what you're going for?
Hi, I'm Sana and I'm running for the International and Welfare Officer.
So, Sana, loneliness is, I think, kind of a quintessential problem that a lot of the international community have. How do you ensure that you're going just beyond sort of, community food nights or something like that? How do you ensure that you're connecting the international crowd with local Sheffield people?
That is actually a very good question because that's something I've been working on, cultural integration, because I think you are right. There's very much
No worries.
there's very much a divide. So a lot of home students live in Endcliffe, a lot of international students obviously, live in city, and there is that clear divide. And I do want to get over that, and I do want to, take it more forward. So the ideas that I have proposed, I've been proposing this year as well. I've worked on them a little bit, and I've been working with ISC, which is International Students Committee, to kind of ensure that more home students come to our events. So it's almost like a half and half, like half international students come and half home students come. And what that means is almost, I want to do it more on hobby basis. So basically, art students come, or like art society. So I'm doing it collaborations with, for example, societies which have, interests, because what I've seen is these societies are they are very good, but some international students shy away from them.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do it with ISC, that could be a really good platform to kind of work together. And yeah, I think it would be a really good way to kind of solve this issue of integration. Yeah.
Do you have any sort of programs or events in mind that you want to roll out if you were elected?
So there are some programs that I want to. Is it related to the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some programs that I want to run. So one of them is this one. So it would be an integration between, for example, ISC and Art Society would have a collaboration, which would be, a bar. Well, not a bar, sorry, a sip and paint night, but more of a non-alcoholic sip and paint night. Because I think whenever we say sip and paint, it usually means, alcohol. And I think a lot of international students, again, might not drink alcohol, me as well, which means that, it kind of puts them away from, it makes them shy away from these events. So one of them would be that. One of the things that I've been working on has been a kind of an international peer program. So it's like an international mentor program. So, students who come have a mentor from, for example, third year who works with them kind of because, you come to a different country, it's just everything's new. And yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you touched on that because, recently, like political climate, wherever, there's been quite a lot of anti-immigration stances. How would you ensure that people still see Sheffield and specifically the SU as a sort of a valuable international asset for them to come to the city?
I think that is a very good question. And also, I think when I think of Sheffield, and when a lot of people think of Sheffield, they already see quite a friendly city towards immigrants and towards international students with the work that's been done in Sheffield. But I think I could take it even more forward with just like working with, for example, I've been having talks with the mayor of Sheffield as well, Safia, and we've just been chatting about how we can kind of make it a more of an open thing, that basically Sheffield is very open to international students. Sheffield is, and I want to have city-wide events rather than just university events, because I think that would make it more almost, I want it to be out there that like Sheffield is a very, friendly city towards immigrants, friendly city towards international students, because it really is. Sheffield is such a cute city, such just a community, Yeah. So I think I want to show that.
And do you think that sort of experience with you meeting different people, is that what made you run for the role?
Yes, I think I've got a lot of experience from this year, from going on my year abroad, from even before then. I'm just very much a people person where I build a rapport with people. So I'm president of Pakistani Society, I'm home representative for ISC, I've also done a lot of work with SU, I've been working with Amelia for like some sports things and getting women of colour into sports, because I think that's very important. So I think this like ability of mine to make connections with people and almost just build a rapport with people is very important for an international and welfare officer. And yeah, I think it will be my strong suit.
Well, I mean, I think you've summarised your campaign really well there. but if you were to look into this camera and tell the people just 3 words that define you, your campaign, and why they should vote for you.
I would say representation, inclusion, and also spice.
Oh, wow.
I just think spice is such funny. Like, I was talking to this about someone. I was like, you know what? It's also because it's fun, but it's also because it's like international.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I think
definitely.
those
I mean,
three. Yeah.
great 3 choice of words there. I mean, thank you for talking to us. Thank you for chatting to us, and good luck with your campaign.
Thank you so much.
Now I've got another candidate here with me. Can you please introduce
Hello.
yourself?
I'm Ish, and I'm running for International and Welfare Officer, basically. I would really like to make some changes that I have personally faced because I am also an international student. And as a mature student, coming back to university after 6 years in the workforce, I have navigated a lot of the challenges that is faced by international students, and I would like to improve a lot of it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned some of the experiences you've had
Yeah.
has made you want to run for this role.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about one of those experiences?
Some of the experiences, first off, visa stress. I think most international students will relate with it, but I think there's a lot of financial stress that goes with it because especially you're in a new country, you're adjusting to the new country, and you're adjusting to a new education system as well. And on top of that, you are going through the financial management that comes with managing 2, sometimes 3 currencies as you are not from this country. So I think there's a lot of support that the university can provide on that they do not currently do, and that can definitely be improved. And the other thing I've experienced is the housing uncertainties. Even with university accommodation, there's a lot of issues, I would say, with university accommodation that I personally would like to improve if I get voted for this.
And one of those issues that we've seen is a lot of damp places where people live. Mold is a
Yes.
big issue among the student
Yes.
community. How do you intend on addressing this?
I think the buildings need a lot more maintenance and a lot regular maintenance because even the current accommodation, I live in a student accommodation, and the heating there goes out every so often, and especially when it was snowing. I come from a hot country and it was freezing inside. I almost thought about starting a campfire. Wouldn't do it, but
I can understand that. And loneliness is a big issue that we
Yes.
see among
Yes,
international
definitely.
communities. What's one way that you could begin to chip away at this issue and make sure that including international students and inclusivity isn't just, a social media post?
yeah, no, because I was going to actually touch up on that because I think a lot of events and societies here are made with home students in mind, and they are not as sensitive to international norms and stuff. So I think I have noticed a lot of my own friends that are international students barely make friends here. They just do university home, and they just get depressed because of that. I'm an exception. I'm a social butterfly. I talk to everybody, but not everybody can do that. And I think that we can definitely make more events that are oriented around the international community, and it can get them started around starting to make more friends because for a lot of them, even speaking English is a 2-step process. They translate from their own language in their head to English and then do that. So I think just international oriented events that later delve into crossing with local students can be very nice.
And can you give me an example of one event, let's say, that will start to look at changing
Yeah,
this?
so let's say some of the parties here, bar crawls here, that are very normal to home students might not be normal to international students because drinking culture is such a big thing, but getting accustomed to that as somebody that might not have that culture back home can feel quite intimidating. I have noticed because in some events, if you don't drink, if you don't like that sort of things, it's very hard to talk to people because bars are one of the big things that people go to make friends here. So I think more inclusive and sensitive events can be helpful.
And In terms of mental health wait lists we see at the
Yes.
university, the queue can often be longer than the
Oh,
queues for
yeah.
nights out that we have at the Foundry. How do you plan on approaching this? Is this a case of fixing the system that's already in place or putting more funding into peer support?
I would say, yeah, putting more funding and hire more personnel, because I was going to say that I personally have had nerve issues on my left leg. I have had that for years, but it was unchecked for 6 weeks here because I did not get an appointment, and it's the same issue for the mental health because the appointments are 5-6 weeks. You just can't get an appointment, so people cannot really, how do I put this? People cannot really plan their mental health breakdowns, can they? So I would definitely look into hiring more personnel that can improve the appointments, because the system that is there is great if it worked in time, but it takes weeks to get an appointment.
And just to close out for us, can you look into this camera and
Yes.
show us what you've drawn for your shield?
Oh, I have not finished.
You
the
can tell us what you would have drawn
drawings.
instead.
Yes, but favorite place is Botanical Garden because it's close to my house, and I go to take a nap under the sun whenever
that.
it's out once a year. Best SU food would be chocolate croissant. I just love it. It's cheap and it's very delicious. Favorite hobby, I would say gaming.
Nice.
That's a very generic hobby, but it is my favorite hobby. And 2 campaign symbols would be empathy and practicality.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
in 3 words, looking into your camera, can you tell me why people should trust you with their vote?
3 words. Because I'm practical, I'm inclusive, and that's not a word, that's a sentence. I have experience.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
talking to us today, and we wish you the best of luck with the campaign.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And we're joined by another candidate. Can you introduce yourself and what role you're running for?
Okay. I'm an international student. I'm doing musicology master degree in here. My name is Lian Huifeng. It's quite difficult pronunciation. You can call me just Bonnie. Yeah. I'm applying in international welfare to help international students.
So, Bonnie, what made you want to run for this role?
Because as an international student, I think I know much of international people, so I can deeply understand them. I can make good advice. I think here I have lots of Chinese person. For me, I can speak English and Chinese. I think for me it's very suited for this job. Yeah.
And what are some things that you want to achieve if you get elected?
If I can in this position, I will help the international student for visa and, for example, fund house and any like health problem. If they have something want to speak, just can find me. They can communicate to improve their like mental health. Yeah.
Yeah, and how would you use the student union's resources to help international students?
Yeah, I think student union is a quite good place. Here have coffee, but I don't think very international students know here. I will introduce here. We have Revolution Coffee Shop, and we have some place can get free food. I know it's very good, and here can make friends easily. Because when I sitting outside, I listen some person can speak some English person can speak Chinese. I think we can find friends in here easily. I will introduce them to come here. Yeah.
And loneliness is a big thing as an international student. Coming from another country, how do you move just beyond, community nights? What more programs will you have that more international people get together?
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is language. Yeah, I think they not only just speak their country's friends, they need to make more friends and improve our language and study another country's culture, so make our more healthy. Yeah.
And if there's sort of just one thing that you wanted to achieve from being elected, what would that be?
I think it's mental health. Yeah, communication is quite important. Yeah, I think that's a very important thing. some person feel very lonely in their class. In their class, maybe some person don't have friends, so they can find me to talk with me, and I can introduce them to go somewhere. Yeah.
You know, many students feel that the SU doesn't represent them. You know, it's not very, so far, it's not very international in terms of its outlook. How do you think you can sort of balance that and like have international people and the locals come together?
Oh, for me, I think here the email reply very soon. Maybe I think they just afraid to talk to a local person. I think they just want to speak their local language. I think it's not good. They need an open mind to make friends. Yeah, I will introduce them to go. I don't think they know much of the society. Because for me, I went to Korean society and Japanese society. I think here can make friends very easily. Yeah, I don't. I will, if I can, in this position, I will introduce them to go there. Yeah.
And what, you know, if the uni was a sort of a dating profile, does it have any red flags that you would swipe left on? Do you think?
Dating?
Yeah, if the uni was a, you know, does it have any red flags at the minute in terms of the international outlook?
Sorry, what's this mean?
Like, how can the international sort of approach from the SU be better? Do you think? What could be done better?
Yeah, I think they need to communicate with local people and make friends. Maybe study their country's culture. If they feel the personalities suit for each other, they can date, I think. Yeah.
And if you could look into that camera
Yeah.
and give people 3 words why they should vote for you.
Confidence, international, and happy. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Best of luck, and I hope you get elected. Thank you.
Thank you.